Hello BTS lovers, how are you guys? The architectural world is in uproar. Is Jungkook's house the envy of the Sultans? No one was really ready for such a big surprise to come from a Jungkook, BTS golden magne, who since his teens has been the center of the world's attention. When the world thinks they already know everything about his life, when the public feels they can already guess every step he will take, it is precisely when Jungkook again overturns the logic of many people. This time not through songs, nor through stunning stage performances, but through a symbol of the most sacred personal life, his new home. The architectural world was in uproar, international media panned, and more surprisingly, Jungkook's house was said to make even wealthy sultans envious. A controversial question erupted. How could a young singer from Busan build a dwelling that is more than just a house, but an architectural masterpiece that is considered capable of challenging the standards of the world's billionaires? When this news first broke, many thought it was just a cheap rumor. But increasingly, visual evidence spread on social media makes everyone flabbergasted. Jungkook's house is not just big, not just luxurious, but presents something that has never existed before in the concept of a Korean artist's house. The architects of the world called it revolutionary. Fans dubbed it a modern palace, while some critics even accused it of being too exaggerated and provocative. But in the end, one undeniable fact is this. Jungkook's house has become a global talking point, as if challenging whoever feels himself the richest to dare to match it. Sources in the Korean real estate industry revealed that the construction of Jungkook's house was carried out with a high level of secrecy. There was no official statement from HYB, no clarification on Jungkook's own part, as if everything was left a question mark mystery. This is precisely what makes the public even more curious. Why can this house be horrendous? Why do many world-class architects start talking about its design? And more dramatically, why is Jungkook's name suddenly mentioned in exclusive forums of billionaires and sultans of the Middle East? Several aerial photographs leaked to the media show how magnificent the building is. From a distance, Jungkook's house looks like a blend of a futuristic palace and a traditional Korean house that has evolved into its most modern form. There is a play of light, glass, and concrete structures that collide with each other but still produce harmony. The outside of the house is equipped with a floating garden that is designed as if floating on water. The infinity pool seems to merge with the horizon, creating the illusion that the house is standing on a cloud. Architectural observers call it a symbol of personal freedom that is rarely found in Asian artists, especially in Korea, which still maintains simplicity as a public image. But behind the glitter of the house, there is also a big controversy. Some people think Jungkook is too ostentatious of wealth, too far from the simple image he has built. Some even compared him to the sultans of the Middle East, insinuating that now Jungkook is more suitable to be called Sultan of Korea. Popular culture critics highlighted that Jungkook's house could create a distance between him and fans who have long loved his figure for its modesty. But is it really so? Or is it that this house is the most honest manifestation of the life journey of a child who once grew up in simplicity, then worked hard day and night from the age of 15, until finally he was able to give something spectacular, not to show off, but as a symbol of the triumph of life? There is an emotional fact that is rarely revealed to the public. It is mentioned that one of the main reasons Jungkook built this house was his mother. He once said in an interview that whenever the world cheered him on, only his mother would always ask, "Are you okay for today?" That simple question, which only came out of a mother's mouth, motivated Jungkook to present something more than just a property. The house is not merely Jungkook's house, but Mother's palace. Many people don't know that behind the magnificent glass and marble walls, there is one simple space, his mother's prayer room, a place Jungkook considers more sacred than the entire golden floor that surrounds it. So naturally, when the media highlighted the swimming pool, glass windows, and advanced security systems, fans' hearts trembled to hear that inside the house, a mother could sit quietly and pray for her child. The architectural world was even more rowdy when a European architect who reportedly participated in the project called Jungkook's house the most emotional house he has ever designed. He emphasized that every detail was not only created to show luxury, but to wrap up the story of Jungkook's life from childhood until now. From the wooden floors inspired by his old house in Busan, to the kitchen design that he said was deliberately made similar to his mother's small kitchen. There is even one large window facing towards the rising sun, a symbol that every new day is a new hope for Jungkook and his family. It is things like this that make the house feel more than a building, but rather an autobiography written with architectural materials. But is it true that this house made the Sultans envious? The facts on the ground are surprising. Some international media reported that a billionaire from the Middle East openly asked the architect to design their house with a concept similar to Jungkook's house. This caused great controversy because so far, the world thinks that Korean artists imitate the Sultan's lifestyle and not vice versa. For the first time, Asian architecture, especially Korean, is becoming a trend copied by the global super-rich. The world is completely upside down. And the name that changed the direction was not an old architect with world awards, but a young singer born in 1997. Public reaction was mixed. Some of the soldiers were extremely proud. They see Jungkook's house not as vanity, but as proof of years of hard work. They recalled how little Jungkook was willing to leave his hometown, live away from his family, endure homesickness, train day and night, and even support his family since the age of 15. For them, the house is a monument to the struggle, not just a luxury property. But on the other hand, haters continue to throw criticism, accusing Jungkook of starting to forget himself, trapped in the world of glamour. Some even sarcastically said, "Is this house more important than the music?" The heated question shook the fandom, but it shows how much influence a house can have in changing the public's perception of an artist. However, when viewed from the other side, this is precisely the right time to reflect. Jungkook House has opened a discussion on how Asian artists can transcend cultural and economic boundaries. So far, luxury homes have only been synonymous with Hollywood celebrities or Middle Eastern sultans. Now, a Korean singer managed to shift the map. The architectural world began to seriously talk about Korean luxury minimalism with emotional touch, a new term that was born because of Jungkook's house. Architecture professors in Europe have even lectured on the building, highlighting how it blends futurism, tradition, and personal emotion in a unity that's hard to match. One thing is certain. The Jungkook house has spawned a global debate. Some praise him, some criticize him, some envy, some are inspired. But no one can ignore it. And maybe this is the real goal, not just to build a house, but to build a world conversation about who Jungkook really is. A child who once said to his mother, "Enough, Mom, we were poor," and now proves that poverty is just a past that can be changed with hard work. The house is the answer. The house is proof. The house is history.